Welcome back to BenUnlocked, and this is where we wanted to be. We've now managed to climb from the very bottom tiers of the English football pyramid, and we're now about to start our first season in the big time in the Premier League. Let's see what the board wants this time round. So, looking at the objectives then, well, they want us to work within the wage budget, which we've pretty much been managing to do all the way through. We want to play attacking football, entertainment football, counter-attacking football. However, and then when you look at the informational objectives, considering last time round when we talked about increasing that bottom line and revenue stream through fans, well, we can do a maximum 1-year contracts for players over the age of 32. But the next one is actually the most interesting to me, and that's to build a new stadium. We absolutely want this, and we better hope we've got a decent capacity this time round. I still think we're in the 5,000 to 6,000, so comfortably less than anywhere else and anyone else in probably the whole Sky Bet leagues, and certainly the Premier League. Looking at the 5-year plan then, well, current season we've just spoke of. Next time round, next season, they want to challenge in a domestic cup competition. Doesn't say they want to win it, just says that they want to challenge. Now, considering that we got to the Carabao Cup final, I think that's probably something that we could do early. And then they want to work towards recording a Premier League top half finish. And if we can manage better than top half, we might get some European competitions too. 25-36, well, they want to record the Premier League top half finish. They don't want to work towards it, they want to get it. And in 36-37, they want to maintain that top half finish. And then the season after that, again, they want to maintain it. I think that's all very doable. So let's process this a little bit further and let's see what we get. And the first message that comes through, the Colne board plan to build a new stadium. The board have announced plans to build a new stadium and are in the process of searching for suitable sites and possible investors. We need to accommodate a bigger crowd due to the high demand for tickets at home matches right now. Absolutely we do. The board have, however, pointed out that this will not be a smooth process as it will be some time before any plans can be finalised and put into action. Chairperson Mike Howarth really wants to take the club to the next level and considers building a new stadium a big step in that direction. Well, we absolutely agree. Of course we do. Even though Holt House at the minute is absolutely immaculate. But it should be, considering the stadium's had many increasing capacities and the rest of it since. However, the next thing straight after that, it says the club's plans to improve the stadium have been cancelled as the board do not feel the investment is worthwhile at this time. So does that mean we're going to get one? Doesn't that mean we're going to get one? Who actually knows? And then straight after that, we've got the board have announced plans to install undersoil heating in the stadium. This will help ensure that fixture schedule is not affected by adverse weather conditions. The plan work costing an estimated $2 million has to be carried out in order to comply with league requirements. It's expected that the ground improvement will take around 2 months. So this makes me think they were going to build the stadium, then they couldn't because they absolutely needed this. Very interesting. I'd like to think throughout the season that they might actually come round to the idea, considering we'll start to get some decent TV revenue. So a bit more flavour then to where we are. Well, we won't be facing an additional tax bill considering where we were in terms of the balance. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Commercial summary then. Well, we've got 2 new sponsorship deals, and the 2 deals themselves, 1.1 million a year. The most notable one is a telecommunications company, and that's a 3-year deal worth 3 million. Annual revenue totals then, well, sponsorship 507,000, which is up 1,143%. Corporate and hospitality 298,000, up 44%. Matchday commercial and retail 350k, down 15%. Broadcast revenues 3.2 million, up 309%, and that will only grow again this year. Competition prize money then 384,000, down 34%. And part of that will be down to the FA Cup, considering we actually got knocked out pretty early. And then when we look at the merchandise, then it says sales for the season were 499,000, with non-domestic accounting for roughly 10% of that. The club sold a total of 4,200 shirts, with the following selling particularly well. We've got Williams Barnett, which doesn't surprise me because he was from Tottenham. We've got Pascal Knight, who everyone wants. We've got Noah De Kren, who's our keeper. And then we've got Hyo Chang Hyun too. So relatively new players other than Pascal Knight and maybe Noah, which is slightly surprising. So changes to the stadium ticket prices this time around then. Well, it says following the club's promotion to the Premier League from the Sky Bet Championship, ticket prices have gone up. Shock, shock. The average ticket price is now £37, which is a 42% increase. And season ticket prices, ouch, are £994, which is a 41% increase. The changes are projected to result in an uplift of 4% to the club's yearly earnings. Well, considering that, we absolutely again need them fans. And we need that bigger stadium. But it doesn't look like we're going to get it anytime soon. And then just when we look there, it says the current financial play period for the Sky Bet Championship Championship ended with the club successfully complying with financial fair play regulations. As over the period in question, the club made a profit of 5 million, having been required to make a loss of no more than 15 million. So as you can see there, for the FFP, which is now PSR, I believe, Premier League, Continental Cup Premier League and Continental Club competitions we're both compliant for. And it says here we've got a new scouting budget of 390,000, so it means there's no restrictions in scouting, meaning we can scout anywhere we want, so that works for our recruitment focuses. And then it says here the board have injected a 4.2 million to help with the club's running costs. Well, absolutely, but what we could do with is actually selling a few players, and then we'd make our money back straight away. Or how was about they take some of the transfer budget off us? Don't be silly, we can't do that. Slightly interesting there. Antonio Conte is the England manager, and I think we're not far off now to work out who's going to actually join us in the Premier League out of the playoff contenders. So I think what we're going to start seeing as well is that players are going to consider asking for new contracts, considering it's the Premier League. And I think what we'll have to try and do is see just how long we can make it before we have to give in to each individual one. And what we'll try and do then is we'll remove the loyalty bonuses, and we'll try and see what we can do in terms of keeping the wages down too. And there we go. The squad have now gone on holiday until the pre-season is going to begin, which will be at the start of July. And then we've got one of our main players there that can now speak fluent English, because what we're finding is a lot of obviously the players coming from abroad, especially the younger ones, aren't particularly well versed in English, so we have to send them on language courses, which again will obviously cost us some money, but well worth it to help them bed in with the squad properly. Let's have a quick look then, see if we can have a look at the playoff finals or the semi-finals. Well, the semi-finals, it looks like Leeds beat Coventry 3-2 on aggregate, and Burnley got beat by Brentford 2-0. So again, let's just have a quick look to see if we can see who's going to be in the playoff final and potentially who's going to actually join us in the Premier League. Well, it was 2-2 on the second leg of the semi-final for Leeds versus Coventry, but Leeds go through considering their first leg performance, so they actually win 5-2 on aggregate. The Burnley-Brentford was 1-1, meaning Brentford go through beating Burnley 3-1 on aggregate. The playoff final then is Brentford versus Leeds, and that'll be on the 22nd of May, so we've got about another week yet before we just find out who's going to join us. Considering the goal scored, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Leeds. And one bit of good news that's just come through then is that Jordan Huybrecht, well, he's actually helped Charlton win the Sky Bet League One. So they're now going to be in the Championship. And he's played 41 appearances for them, so not bad at all. And then when we look, Gerald Evans has also helped Charlton win the Sky Bet League One too. Congolo for Levante, well, he's appeared 12 times, he's scored 3. Not bad at all either, considering. Then we've got Jacques, who looks like he's the Championship Young Player of the Season. And when we look at those stats, you could probably see why. Let's congratulate him on that for sure. And then Williams Barnett looks like he's got the award for the goal of the Championship Season 2. Let's congratulate him too. And then when it looks like we look at the Team of the Year, well, we've actually got 5 of our players in it. Pascal Knight, as I'd expect. We've got Kevin Krings, we've got Mazinho, Salazar, Jacques. Not bad at all. It's just a shame that Noah de Kren hasn't managed to get in the keeper spot. Okay, so we've just had the season expectations email come through then for this time around. It's basically saying that as a result of the current situation, we've got a transfer budget of 79.59 and with a wage budget of 480,000. Now, Emirates FA Cup, we've got to hope we do better than last time, and that increases our transfer budget by a couple of million each time, more or less. But I think 4th round's probably fair. Carabao Cup then, well, we got to the final last time, so 4th round I think seems fair as well. We are trying to get rid of some of the players that were out on loan because we're no longer going to need them. And in fact, what we might actually want, look at the cash that we've just received then, is we might want to see what players we can potentially buy. We will receive 84.35 million for Premier League TV rights for this season. Now, in the season as well, if we get extra games that are televised, we'll get some money there too. There's just one of our transfers that's just going out. I mean, he's no longer any good for us, but it's someone we picked up on free, I believe, so 3.6 million, no problem. We'll absolutely agree for the under-18s division. Season ticket update then. Well, it says, as of today, the club have sold 2,471 season tickets. The board expect the club to sell another 2,000 to get 4,600 in total, which, if I'm honest, I think is most of our stadium capacity. Our first game is against Everton, and it's at home in 48 days. And before too much longer now, we will start to see our players coming back from their summer break. There we go. That's our pre-season start date in a week's time. We've got some contracts and things that will be expiring on the 30th, and we've got some players that will leave us as well on the 1st of July. So staff number update then. Looks like our scouting capacity has increased further to 23. Our coaching has increased to 17. Recruitment analysts to 12. Physios to 7. Sports scientists to 4. The under-18 squad has also increased from 10 to 12 and 2 to 3 on the sports scientists. All well and good, but it's still going to cost us extra money that I'm not sure we particularly have, even with the 80 million. You can see why the club want to keep us in the league. There's our undersoil heating now that's been installed. So then, we're about to start our first season in the Premier League. Let's just have a quick look then at the transfer activity that we've done this time round. Well, we're currently in August 2034, so this is where we've started to actually start spending quite a lot of money. So we had the first in Jinsunko from Bologna for 30 million, and Jinsunko is a centre-back, and he's a 2.5, potential 5. Plays for Belgium. He's already had 9 caps for them. Came from SK Roeselare, then went to SK Beveren, Bologna for 4.2 million. And then to ourselves. Then we got Rafael from Barcelona. So one of the biggest teams now in world football. And we bought Rafael for 34.5 million. And when you look at where he plays, so he's an attacking mid. He's a current 4, potential 5. And he's 18 years old. You can see why we ended up having to spend what we did. And look at that wage. He's on £100,000 a week. And then we've got Aras Tekin from Parthenope. We paid 20 million for. And he's a 4-star potential 5-2, so actually pretty cheap, to be fair. He can be a wing-back right, or he can actually just be a right-back. Well, considering the formation that we use is a right-back, and look at the ability for each of those roles there. Not bad at all. Now, I'd expect to have a lot of down arrows at the minute because we've not really played any games. They've only just come back from summer, and he's only on 49,500, so actually looks like a steal compared to the other fella from Barcelona. And then we've got Eder from Brighton, who we paid 35 for. Eder is primarily a centre-back. He's 20 years old. He's currently a 3. He's got a potential of 5. He's on 63k a week. Came from FLA in the first division in Brazil. Then played the whole of last season pretty much for Brighton in the Premier League. And now he's joined us in the Premier League, albeit for 20 million more than what Brighton paid. But considering he plays on the defensive side of the team, he actually assisted 2 goals. So not too bad, to be fair. And then we've got Edgar Castro from Paris Saint-Germain. So again, another big team in world football. And this is our biggest signing this time round at 51 million. Now, Edgar plays in the defensive midfield. He's 22 years old. He's a current 3.5, potential 4. He's on 90k a week. But he can actually play a couple of other roles should we need to. So who've we had actually leave? Well, without going into all the detail on this, we've got Ulaniers who left for 9 million. Ramel Donovan to Plymouth for 3 million. Onyumbe is out on loan. Mesengo didn't want to stay with us, but Man City have picked him up, so could potentially see we'll get stuffed a little bit there, I think, in the time to come. We've got Pascal Follet from Albatan, 1.9 million. We've got Pascal Knight, who used to be our main upfront scorer, and we got 43 million for him. Considering he was free, that's all pure profit too. There's a couple more guys on loan there. We've sold Mohamedou Diawara to Al Vassal for 3.6, and it's all profit again. Thomas Layson for 4.7, all profit. A couple more on loan. And then we start to try and weed out some of the lesser ability players, if you will, with Ashley Humphreys going to Watford, Maxime Rouvier went to Antwerp for 4.2, and then Brendan Roberts to Stoke, and Kevin Krings most recently out on loan. Now, there is one more player that we have got, and that's on loan, and that's Patrick Neff. Now, there is another player that we've got on loan, and this is Patrick Neff. Now, we got him from FC Nantes. We're not paying any fee for him, but he's going to be absolutely key when you look at that. Now, he's a 4-star potential 5. And again, look at the ability for the roles that he's going to play. His finishing's very high, so is his heading. First touch isn't bad. His technique's fantastic. Got decent composure too. And the actual physical side, well, there's only jumping reach that actually could do with any work. And he can play pretty much with both feet. So there should be good things for him to come. There should be good things to come from him for this season. Now, our first games in the pre-season friendlies, well, we actually got invited to 2 testimonials. One against Real Madrid, which we lost 2-1. Then we had a televised one for Sevilla, and we lost 2-1 again. We drew 1-1 at Auxerre. Then we beat Blackburn 5-1. They're not really as many friendlies as what we used to from previous leagues, but still some nonetheless. And then this is how the Premier League games look this time round. Well, we've got Everton, Leeds and Chelsea first. Man U, Brighton, West Brom, Liverpool. October's very light, but again, we haven't got cup games or cup things actually drawn into this yet. So they'll be added. We've got Villa and Sheffield. November, Sunderland, Crystal Palace and Wolves. I mean, December looks absolutely rammed on fixtures right now with 8 different games. Boxing Day looks like we're at home to Leicester. New Year's Day, then Chelsea away. And it looks like for the final game of this season, who knows where we'll be, but it'll be Liverpool at Anfield. So with all that in mind then, this is currently how we're going to line up. Well, we've got Noah in goal. We've got Aras Tekin, Mazinho, Eder, Anderson Francisco, Castro, Marcus Vinicius, Kedlund, Raphael, Williams Barnett and Patrick Neff. And from when we've started to weed out some of our players, well, our actual full squad size is quite less than what it has been. As you can see there, we've got 9 subs and there's only 4 more players after that. So we might have to start looking at maybe 18s or see if we can get some more steals from Belgium, if we can get them on a free, see if we can make some money in the season or 2 to come. So with that in mind, let's go to the match. So taking a quick look then at the team sheet, is there anyone from Everton that we actually recognise? Well, James Garner's still around. Tyler Dibbling. We've got Ansu Fati on the bench. And then for me personally, I don't think there's many more that I recognise from football now. And it looks like the referee is going to be Michael Oliver. Nice to know that in 8 years' time, he'll still be around. We're just going to tell them all just to give the fans the money worth, because I'm not particularly sure how we're actually going to stack up at this point. So let's talk to the media then. We've got Miguel Alvarez from One Football. Do you think we can get off to a winning start? We've been working hard. If the players carry that focus, determination in the match, we should do well. It's almost time for the kickoff in the Premier League. You must be excited, Alvarez says. I'm excited. We worked so hard to earn promotion, and now we get to play at the level we deserve to be at. And then he comes back with, most pundits suggest that Raphael's performances will be the key factor in determining whether you have a successful season or not. Is that a fair assessment? Well, Raphael is one of our attacking mids who's actually very, very good. And then what we're going to say then is, I think our squad is a strong one, but clearly Raphael has enormous quality and will be a massive contributor to any success that we have. And given his stats, I think that's absolutely true. So to the dugout then, to the smallest stadium in the Premier League at Holt House still. Here we go. So, Everton with the kickoff then. Let's get this underway. Early highlight then comes to nothing, just pretty much as it normally does. And it looks like in the early minutes of this game, we've already had a shot on target. But not too bad for a start. Possession, we're just about clawing it even at the minute. We've had a corner already. Everton just coming in with a couple of shots now. And a few corners too. Looks like we're going to highlight then. This could be for Everton. Garner with it. O'Brien. Dibbling. Back to Garner. Garner going to play it forward. No, Williams-Barnett just takes the ball from him, passes it to Neff. Neff, Raphael. Raphael's running in now. Raphael has a shot. First time of asking. 1-0 Colne. Absolutely, this deserves praise. I wasn't sure this was going to go in. So we did very well there just to pick the ball from Everton's pocket there. Neff just forwards it to Raphael, and he absolutely sprints down and then smashes it across goal. Make it 1-0. 1-0 within 15 minutes. Not bad at all. Highlight then for Everton. Samuel Smith just running on the right. Cuts it into the middle. Cleared as far as Melberg. O'Brien then. Being left pretty much unchallenged at this point by the looks of things. Passes it to Diblin. Diblin then on his own. Diblin still with it then. Hits the post. Raphael with the ball then. And clears it. Only as far as Samuel Smith, who heads it down for Branthwaite. Through for Garner. Just getting a little bit pinned back by the looks of things. Nice play there. Samuel Smith. Early cross. Heads as far as Garner. Out to Bangula. Butchered that. Aristekin nicks the ball off him. Only as far as Melberg again. Back to Tyler Dibbling. Can see a goal possibly coming here. Cross comes in from deep. Heads by Messinho. Raphael with the ball. Just brings it down. Plays it to Williams-Barnett. First times it to Neff. Neff looks to take his man on. Opts not to try. Ketterland out wide to Aristekin. Who plays it forward to Ketterland. Is he going to cross it in? Oh, just happens to look back to Aristekin, who shoots, hits the post himself, and the play continues. Ball goes out for a throw. And here we have another highlight then. Just playing down the left-hand side now as we look at this. Mangula crosses it in, cross comes in, heads by Eder. Garner goes for a spectacular shot and isn't too far away. Quite unlucky really for him there. We're just going to encourage the team a little bit. I can imagine that throughout this season we may have to look at tactics a little bit. So highlights then. Raphael. Out on the wing to Francisco. Forward to Williams-Barnett. Is he going to cross first time? No, just runs a little bit further in. Holds play up a little bit more. Crosses to Neff. Neff shoots and puts it. For the highlight then, Neff, Vinicius, Williams-Barnett. Gets headed out by Brian. Zinho. Castro. Aristekin. Out wide. Ketterland didn't look like he was expecting that ball then, to be fair. Just goes past his man and then runs inside the 6-yard box. Raphael goes for a shot, but it's blocked. And we retain possession. Another highlight then, just within the added time in the first half. Goal kick for Everton then. Ball comes in. Heads it on as far as Ketterland. He first times it out wide, just switches play there. Williams-Barnett just manages to collect it, who whips one in towards the back post. Tenas very unlucky there. Actually gets a hand to it, but it drops for Ketterland. We'll take it. I wasn't sure if the ball was actually going to out of play at this point, but Williams-Barnett manages to keep it in. First times it. Tenas just gets a hand on it, but Ketterland's there ready to volley it. He actually gets a slight deflection there off Samuel Smith, which puts it in. So we're going to address the team. We're winning, so we're just going to say happy with the way things are going. Keep it up. There we go. Everybody's delighted. We've got some decent ratings there too, which says we must be having a pretty good game. Let's start the second half then. Everton make 3 changes. Dedic, Ansu Fati. And I missed the other one then. So Con playing right to left. Usual highlight at the start of the half comes to nothing. This could all change with Everton now having a highlight. Garner then plays the ball over the top to Ansu Fati, who looks like he may have scored for Everton. But it's gone to VAR. Let's see what the decision is. Goal disallowed. Ansu Fati is offside. Back to 2-0 then. Let's just see how far off he was. The Garner then looks for the last man. And if that's Ansu Fati out there on his own, he's miles away. Nice finish nonetheless. But it won't count. Still Colne 2, Everton 0. Play continues. Dedic then on the right hand side puts it forward for Dibbling. Dibbling is going to run on the man. Yes, he is. Are we going to recover in time? No. Cross comes in. No, collects. I wonder if there's the 8-second rule in this. Could well be, because that was a very quick release in fairness. All the way then back to the defender who heads it forward, and the attack continues again for Everton. Satpayev puts it wide from that, but was he actually onside in the first place? Let's just take a look at that now while this is playing in the background. Anderson Francisco. Let's put Frisson. Marcus Vinicius for Micho. Just looking at the complacency in terms of body language. Mazinho, let's put Co on. Do we need anyone up front? We'll keep Raphael currently. Let's see if Kurt Jacques can do anything. And then let's have a look at Celinho. Aristeken then for Colne on the right hand side. That's it for Celinho, who just drops his man. Just cuts back inside. He's going to have a shot. Nope, just opts the plate back to Castro. Micho with it then. Back to Raphael. Raphael back to Micho. Ball to Jacques. Celinho just doesn't manage to collect it, but Raphael recovers. Ball comes through for Raphael. Goes for a shot. Looks like he's onside. That could be Colne 3-0. Jacques with the assist. So some nice little play there. Raphael just dropping a little bit to receive the ball. Raphael does well to collect it first. Jacques then sees him running ahead of him. Defender's not picking him up. Raphael then just takes a touch or two and slams it into the far side of the net. We'll praise the team again. This is going very well for our first game. But have we spoken too soon? Everton then with a highlight. Ansu Fati with the ball now. Walsh out on the wing to Ulrich. Back to Ansu Fati. Micho just manages to step in and take the ball from him. Nice tackle there. Dedic on the right. Pretty much not challenged for the ball. But then just looks like he might have run it too far and stopped it, and we managed to collect. Celinho with the ball then. Out on the wing here to Casper Friis. Friis relatively unchallenged, but manages to find Micho, who goes for a shot first time. Deflects, and then Dibbling manages to pick it up and then makes a run on the wing now. Unchallenged here. Noah just manages to dive and save it. Manages to collect. That was relatively threatening there from Everton. Noah kicks it long then. Micho manages to head it forward for Raphael. Just takes a touch or two before playing it out to Jacques. Wasn't quite expecting where it was then. Back to Raphael. Goes for a shot, but it actually rebounds off the post and comes straight back towards him. But Everton managed to hook it clear. And there we have it. First game in the Premier League. 3-0. Colne 3. Everton 0. Not bad at all. And look at that, 24 shots and 11 on target. 10 corners to their 12. Passes completed roughly around the same. Crosses completed much higher than Everton. Less fouls, no yellow cards or red cards in the game, which is pretty good. And we've ran about the same. And I mean, look at Raphael's rating there, 8.8. So let's address the team. Very happy with the result and the way they played. That's exactly the sort of response I'd expect as well. So we've got Flavio Di Calese. I'll probably butchered that. How delighted are you with that triumph? We were excellent. It was a top performance. Linus Kedlin certainly benefited from a pretty big deflection for that goal, didn't he? These things happen in football, and yeah, I think we deserve the look, to be fair. That'll do. And there we have it. Currently then, after one game played, that puts us to second in the Premier League. And again, just a quick reminder of what we're going to try and go for this time round. We're going to try and get at least mid-table, but if we can, potentially try and get into some of the European competitions, but we'll see how that goes. Burnley versus Manchester United then. Let's see how well this is going to go. So we currently line up then, Noah in net, Aris, Tekin, Mazzinho, Eder, Francisco, can't say the word, Francisco, Rafael, Edgar Casco, Marcus Vinicius, Luca Williams-Barnett, Patrick Neff and Omar Hussein. Let's address the team. Good luck out there, we're going to need it, because absolutely we are. Then we've got Ryan Ledger from 90minutes.com with Mallory Sokot recently signing for the club. Is he one very much for the youth teams as far as we're concerned? I'm interested how it develops because we have just signed a lot of young players just before we've started this game. Are we confident Patrick Neck will perform? We expect him to do well and show everyone what he can do. Have Hyo Chang-hyun's recent injury problems contributing to his absence today? Yeah, he's not quite right at the moment, so we can't play him here, and that'll do. So, Old Trafford then. Looking at that, we've got quite a lot of Brazilians and French. So where do we sit then? Playing in white today then, so we're the away team and we have kickoff. Lenny Oro. So there's still some names there that are true to life now. Just got done there, and this is looking very threatening now. 1-0, very unlucky with the clearance there. 1-0 United. So I thought we got fouled then, but here's another highlight then. Looks like it's going to be for United. Sheshko does his man, running down the wing then. He's going to come inside. No, he's going to look on the out. He's just going to pass it back to Kobe Menu. Loops the ball to the back post. De Kren manages to spill it. And we get away with another one then. Just had our first shot on target then. Looks like we might have a highlight for once. Eder to Mazzinho. Mazzinho just running through the middle of the park there. Puts it out wide on the left towards Neff. Neff is not able to get it. Cleared only as far as Francisco, who then runs down the line, does his man, cuts back inside. Ball into the middle, almost saying with the goal, 1-1. United were feeling pretty hard done to there. So Mora there isn't able to stick with him and has to backpedal. Almost saying just in the middle there, doing what he should do. There's no way he should miss from there. Corner then for United. Mora with it. We've seen how dangerous he were against our left back. Corner comes in. Eder heads it only as far as Kobe Menu. No one's actually pressing him. Now they decide to. Shot comes in. De Kren saves. But actually, by the look of that, he didn't actually save it. It looks like it went wide according to the game. Half time then. I know we're the underdogs, but let's go out there and give the fans a performance to cheer for. Into the second half then. Looks like Raphael will probably be getting subbed because he's the first one to look like he's got some issues in terms of fitness. United with the ball then. Barcola, Aristekin just manages to take it from him. Omar Hussein passes it to Raphael, but not really as he should, so we lose the ball straight away there. United just kicking it back at the back of the park there. And now they decide to move forward with it. Mora, Anderson, back to Mora. Through to Anderson, nice ball. Is he going to cross? No, he's just going to put it back into the middle to PM. Barcola, Aristekin heads it away for a throw-in. Nicely defended there. Throw comes in then from Guillem. Barcola, Aristekin. Ball comes away towards Omar Hussein. Heto manages to get that just over his head. Barcola forward to Sheshko. Sheshko, there's no way he should miss either. But it looks like it might be offside. The linesman's just put his flag up there. VAR then. Everyone's favourite thing. Disallowed, must have been offside as well then. Back to 1-1. Let's just see how far off we were. That to me didn't look like he were offside personally, but okay, we'll take it. Another throw in then for United on the left hand side here. Heto, Yoro. Surely that's offside. And the flag's been put up again. He looked a long way off, if I'm honest. It was a nice searching ball and a nice connection. But that definitely looked like that were offside. There we go. VAR stands with us again. Goal disallowed. Let's have a look just how far off we were. The ball's going to come in now. Yeah, it's miles off. Another highlight again then for United. Nicely played. Kobe Mainoo's going to square it. No, he's not. Barcola back to Guillaume. Nice block there. Free kick. The attack comes to nothing. Okay, so let's start having a look then at some players to sub. We're going to put Celinho in. Raphael needs to come off for centre. It's got Amimi. And then we'll leave it at that for now. I'm just going to swap Neff to be up front. Omar Hussein. Put Kurt Jacques on. Top subs have been made then. United then running in, Barcola with it. Just gets dispossessed. Neff, Celinho, Amimi. Are we going to play forward or are we just going to play around with it? No, we've lost our attacking intent there. Aristekin with it. Plays it, the looping ball for Neff first time. Is he going to shoot? Yes, he is. Now, is that on? Is that a goal to make it 2-1? For Colin to take the lead against United. Yes, it is. Goal indeed. So I thought that the attack here was over. But Aristekin there must have his head up. He must be looking to see where Neff is. Yeah, he's certainly onside. Fantastic ball in. Great first touch. Slams it into the net. 2-1. This looks a little bit threatening. So United with the corner then. Mora to take it. Ball comes in. Back post. Into the middle. Gets deflected. Out front of the corner on the opposite side now. We've got another highlight here, so this could be dangerous. We're on to the closing time of the game now then. Ball comes out wide to Mora. Mora manages just to come inside. Just passes it to Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo makes it 2-2 right at the death of the game. Shocking defending. Let's just go very attacking then. Yeah, let's do this. We don't need to see this. An absolute shame, travesty is that. Now we've got a highlight here, and it looks like we've got a throw in. Is it going to be our highlight, or is it going to be for United? So ball comes in long. Erling Lane with it. Ahmad. Diouf, Erling. Kershe. Lenny Yoro. Just got a couple of minutes left now at this point. Jennings. Through to Kobbie Mainoo. But Mazinho gets it, plays it back to Decren. Decren just loops it back forward to Celinho. Celinho brings the ball down, passes it to Fries. Fries to Michaud. Back to Fries, back to Mazinho. Michaud back now to Fries on the right-hand side. Plays it forward to Celinho, into the middle to Amimi. Back to Celinho. Michaud in the middle now. Lucky with that not to lose the ball. Francisco with it. Kurt Jacques now on the left. Francisco, we're just toying with United, it feels like at the minute. Just trying to search for that forward ball. And then we lose the ball to Ahmad. Ahmad on the right-hand side now. Mora in the middle. This could be 3-2. Oh my God. Sloppy play from ourselves there. Sloppy right at the end. We can't be doing that. I'm just going to say we're not happy with that, because the very end of that, we're supposed to be on attacking, we're supposed to be searching forward, but we give the ball away, get caught on break, game over. We can't be giving United and teams of that calibre any chances against us like that. And then just a quick update where we are in the league. Well, currently we're sitting 5th. Now, only a couple of teams above us have played 34 games, but considering that from 2nd through to 6th, there's just 3 points in it, it's looking pretty good. Leeds already down at the bottom have been relegated, given that they've only got 17 points, and there's only 5 games for them left, so giving them 15, it'd be 32. They'd never get out of relegation. Wolves are down at the bottom too, as are Sheffield and Tottenham. How true to real life that is at the moment. Liverpool are a little bit clear, but other than that, it looks like it's mainly to play for. So final game of the season then. So a lot rides on this right now. So looking at the stages and where we are in the league, well, Liverpool have got champions. That's undisputed at this point. Then it could be anyone's game thereafter. So currently we're sitting 4th, but there's a real chance that we could end up being 5th, possibly could end up being 6th. It's really anyone's game at this point. So just to make it more difficult for us as well, we're actually about to play Liverpool. Now, Liverpool being the champions, that doesn't bode too well for us personally. So currently then, this is how we're lining up. We've got Noah in the net, of course, Aris Tekin, Casper Fries, Eder, Anderson Francisco, Castro, Marcus Vinicius, Williams Barnett, Raphael, Jacques and Nev. And then we only have a few subs that we can use. Don't really have anyone else, to be fair. Let's go to the match. Let's just see how difficult this could be. So we are playing on balance, but I think that might be a slight mistake considering Liverpool are going to go all out, because why wouldn't they? Last game at home, they're already champions. They want to make a statement to finish the season with, whereas we need to make an opposite statement so that we can get some European football. So let's just say we wanted to pick up where we were last time out. That'll do. So media then, from 442, we've got Alice Kaminski. Your side can book a spot in the preliminary stages of the UEFA Champions League with a win here. Are we confident of seeing it through and getting the required result? We've put ourselves in the best possible position already, so I have faith in the players that now see it through. How are you approaching the task of keeping the Premier League leading goal scorers quiet here? I'll approach it the same way as any other match, with thorough meticulous planning and preparation. With the match against Liverpool being a dead rubber, are we likely to see you shuffle the pack and give an opportunity to some younger members of the squad? I think you could see a few, but nothing too drastic. So here we are then at Anfield. Still got Florian Wirtz, Kerkez, Verbruggen. Quite interesting. And there's our team. There we are. Let's go straight to kick-off. Let's put it straight away into cautious because I think we'll end up getting a little bit hammered back here. So let's just see how this goes. We've even got Jamal Musiala as well. Nice cross, some nice catching practice there for Noah. Liverpool come back at us then straight away. Williams, Barnett, Raphael. Is he going to see the through run by Neff? Yes, he is. Is Neff going to score? Yes, he is. Is he onside? I think so. 1-0 Colne within the first minute. I think we've absolutely got to go defensive then. We need this. We absolutely do. So Farcarson and Kirkes there, not really linking up properly. Give the ball away. Raphael just sees Neff with a through ball. Neff puts it straight under Verbruggen's arm to make it 1-0. Okay then, looks like Florian Wirtz has got a very strange character model for this, but corner for Liverpool, in it comes. Headed just over the bar. So Farcarson then, De Bast. Clement Andres. Bit of a wayward pass nearly then. Jacques nearly collects it, but he just manages to run past him. Guardi, I think we got away with another one then. I think Noah possibly could have come and swept that, but we're not playing him as the sweeper keeper. Casper Fries then, Aras Tekin. He's going to play it back. Yeah, he is. I would have done as well. Noah, straight forward. Okay, puts it wide for San Francisco. Not bad. He's out on the wing there. No one making a forward run, so there isn't really a ball to play. Jack just comes a little bit deeper to collect. Neff through, one-on-one. Chips the keeper. Might make it 2-0. Wow. Nice through ball, but I thought it could have been offside, to be honest. But no, it wasn't. And then Neff just lobs Verbruggen. Sees him off his line and goes for the chip. Free kick then on the halfway line. Reed's going to take it for Liverpool. Debas for Carson. Through to Wirtz. We need to watch the runners. Noah just does well there to block it, and the ball goes out for a corner. There we have it. Half time, 2-0 up. Happy the way things are going. Keep it up. Everybody's happy. Good ratings in there. Noah's doing well. Neff's obviously doing very well. If we can, let's just have a... Oh, maybe not. 60 minutes then. Liverpool with a highlight. Musiala just happens to try Williams Barnett on, who's just tracking with him. Goes past him. Cross comes in from deep. Sauer comes with it. Heads it wide. Francisco then not really wanting to challenge it. So let's take Aras Tekin off now then. Let's put Francisco off for Salazar too. Going to try and keep these guys fresh. So corner for Liverpool with Florian Wirtz to take it. Ball comes in. Heads. Okay. 2-1 for Colne. So highlight then. Verbruggen throws the ball down for Farcarson. Musiala is going to take his man on because he likes to do that from what we've seen. This is looking dangerous indeed. Very lucky there. Very, very lucky there. So into the 80s then. Nearly approaching added time. 4 minutes then. First minute down, second minute down, third minute down. And there we have it. We beat Liverpool 2-1 at Anfield on the final day of the season. That That was very special today. No one gave us a chance. You played magnificently. Congratulations. And that's absolutely the response that we want from everybody. Now, will that seal Champions League or will it be Europa? But first, we've got Eurosport with Stefan Makovic. That was an even greater high than what we've seen recently from your side. Is that how you saw it too? Hopefully, this will carry on for a good while longer, being richly rewarded for dazzling displays. 38% possession was obviously no barrier to the side winning. What are your thoughts on victory? If you don't do anything when you have the ball, you might as well not have it. We've been drilled to make the absolute most of these occasions. Patrick Neff is outperforming his expected goals right now. Do you have an opinion about that? I'll leave that to analysts and pundits. There we have it then. We've actually finished third in the Premier League, 1 point behind Man United, 1 point above Arsenal. City managed sixth, and surprisingly, Newcastle managed to get some European football too. So we've just got one game left then, and that's the FA Cup final against Man U. So let's have a look at the initial budgets then that we're going to be set for next season. Transfer budget, about 33 million, but it might be changed depending on what we're going to do, which I think is absolutely fine at this point. Our finances now are positive at being 17 million, which is good. We're absolutely going to praise Neff because he was fantastic, especially that lob. Then we got 36 million for getting third in the Premier League, so that's good too. We paid 850 out to the squad, not as much as anything else that we'd be expecting, but we had to select low just purposely because of where the finances were for the club. Got a brief update here. It says with the Premier League campaign at an end, talks regarding future expectations will after the upcoming final, which makes total sense. Doing an unbelievable job and clearly the right manager. We're pleased that we actually challenged for the Premier League this season. Final run at the end of the season helped us in overachieving. We've got Manager of the Year. Fantastic. You don't get to play in a cup final every day, so we need to embrace the occasion. Absolutely, we do. Right then, FA Cup final at Wembley, and that's how we're going to line up, I think. We've got Noah, Anderson, Francisco, Mazinho, Eder, Casper Friis, Castro, Marcus Vinicius, Omar Hussein, Raphael, Williams Barnett, and Patrick Neff. Let's see if we can get our first major cup in the English pyramid. If not, we'll be drowning our sorrows a little bit later. Let's go to the match. Fans have been fantastic for us. They're the ones who really pay the wages, go out and win this for them. So we've got Sky Sports News with Lucy Pollard winning the Emirates. We've got Sky Sports News with Lucy Pollard winning the Lucy Pollard Sky Sports News. Winning the Emirates FA Cup would undoubtedly be the pinnacle of Colin's campaign. Just how badly do you and your team want it? We're not satisfied with just getting to the final. Our job isn't complete until we've won it, and we're all desperate to make that happen. The game will be one of the biggest of the season, and all Colin fans are sure to be watching with high expectations. Is that making you at all anxious? I can understand how the fans feel. I'm incredibly nervous myself. The Emirates FA Cup decider against Man United will no doubt prove fascinating managerial duel between you and your opposite number. What is the relationship with Luis Enrique? One of the nicest people in football, get along really well, and that'll do. Let's get this underway. And instead of playing on balance, we're going to play cautious. Just because I'm pretty sure we're going to get a little bit out. Corner then. We take a short. Man United in playing in white even. Let's not get that wrong. Jennings, Diouf, Lenioro, Eto, Anthony Vassal, Barroso, through to Šeško. Šeško undoubtedly scores there. Borys a little bit. Man United looking threatening here for the second. Got away with that one. Šeško's having a blinder. And it looks like we've got throw-in. Looks like we've played the ball out there for United to have a corner. Ball comes in then, into the centre. Headed only as far as Barroso. Williams Barnett very unlucky there. Oh my word. And then Anthony Vassal scores an absolute worldie. So we've got the ball here. Francisco with it. Castro. Eder. Casper Friis. Just running down the wing a little bit here, which is good. Through to Raphael. Raphael puts a cross in. Pengal gets it. Neff's there just to tap it in, following the deflection. 2-1 United. Neff's running back for the game to be restarted. Nice pass there to Raphael's, just making a nice run through. Clearly the pass was going to be for Hussein there, but Neff's there just to clear it up. Another highlight then, Williams-Barnett. Looks like he gets taken out, but Casper manages to keep the ball, refs playing advantage. Raphael keeps the ball. Just walking it backwards though. Eder plays a ball over to Fries on the wing, who just manages to keep it in. Cross comes in early. Hussein. Neff smashes it into the net. 2-2, game on. Half-time, cup final at Wembley. Number of shots on target so far, so we're happy. Of course we are, because that's absolutely what we need if we're going to try and score. We need it to be on target. Second half then. Fries and Castro look like they could be the first two, possibly Raphael as well, that we might want to sub. Barcola with it. Fries just manages to cut out the initial pass. Eder, Fries. Raphael, Williams-Barnett. Hooks it for Neff. Next likely could be one-on-one depending on that first touch. Very unlucky there. That absolutely should have been a goal, but we've got to praise the team for that. Neff's obviously full of confidence. But what we are going to do now is look to sub Raphael, because he's now starting to struggle quite a bit. So we're going to put Kurt Jacques on. Williams-Barnett. Right, what we're going to do then is we're going to drop Neff onto the left. Hussein we're going to put on the right. Then we're going to bring in Luchetti. And then Aristekin for Francisco. And let's see how well that goes. And all the meanwhile, we've got the ball. 61st minute into the 67th, 62nd even. Hussein hooks it for Raphael. Raphael's got it. Is he going to square the ball? No, he's not. Keeper actually does well with it. Throw in the end. It's going to bring Salazar in as well there. Kurt Jacques with a goal. Wow. So all the way from a goal kick, and I was too busy subbing someone. So Noah then kicks it long. Neff gets his head on it for Kurt Jacques. Jacques just in front. Sees keeper just stepping to the left a little bit, and then goes across goal with a shot. Puts it 3-2. Game's certainly on. Ball goes long, Salazar collects. Neff with it then. Neff's just running down the line. What's he going to do with it, considering he's known with the one that's in the centre? Just goes past Antonio Carlos. Ball comes in. Wenger actually saves it. Puts it out for a corner. And there we have it. Game over. Colne win 3-2. And here we have it. The FA Cup trophy. We can't ask for any more than what we've got. The first season we get Champions League football and we win the FA Cup. What a team we've built. And there we have it then. Congratulations, what a win. And let's leave. Season 1 in the Prem, complete. But will we manage to get a European trophy? So we've got Planet Football with Christophe Duhalde. Congratulations, Ben. What does it mean to win the FA Cup? So it's nice to win trophies and real boost for everyone involved. There are a few better things than being in the middle of a club when morale's this high. How long can you continue to remain that? A wise person repairs the roof when it's sunny. Are we proactive in a similar manner with this group? and if successful, we can carry on the good times for the foreseeable. Comeback victories are always sweet. Is it a sentiment you share after watching your team roar back like that? Absolutely ecstatic, fantastic effort by the players. They showed real character today. And there we have it. So let's praise Castro. We've got 2 million there for winning the final. We're now being talked about as one of the managerial greats. That's fantastic. We lift the trophy. Neff was on form. Absolutely it was. So let's praise him as well. It looks like up to 7th have actually got European football this time. It's paid 425,000 out for that. Well, planning for next season. Doesn't look like we have any issues, so that's good as well. This is training report 8.9. Let's praise him. 2.2 million followers. And it says qualify for the Europa League. Well, I mean, this season round we've already got the Champions League, so that'll be already for next season. End of season review then. I see their board expectation. Well, UEFA League qualification. Very pleased. End of season meeting. Thanks all for coming. Premier League. I would like to say the Champions League. I'd also like to say title, but I'm not sure on the title just yet. But Champions League, I think that's fair. Trying to get into the latter stages for sure. And then nothing else to talk about, although we might end up getting rid of some of them now or bringing some others in. Pre-season, let's do 4 weeks. That worked well enough last time. Training camp destination. Let's go to the States. And there we have it then. We've got 19 million now in the bank without getting the Premier League money this time round too. So that's not bad at all. We will be asking it as soon as we can the potential of building a stadium, but I'm hoping they're going to come around with that again, a bit like they did last time. We'll ask for a coaching course, we'll ask for a new contract, and that'll be it for the first season in the Premier League. Who knows what could happen next time, but if you want to stick around, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.